Welcome to CA8 Test Prep Part 1 and question number 3. And the question says, observe the line plotted below. The graph shows the number of children eaten by pterodactyls and Tyrannosaurus rexes at outdoor birthday parties. It's an alarming amount, really. And it says, is this graph additive or multiplicative in nature? Why? And explain it in detail. Well, if you look at the graph here, what we have is we have the pterodactyls on this end and the Tyrannosaurus rexes on this end. And anyway, if you look at this graph, the question is it additive or multiplicative in nature? Well, just looking at the graph, we should be able to tell. And the reason why we should be able to tell is an additive number pattern line graph. An additive pattern has the line not going through the origin. So in case you forgot, this is the origin here. Basically it's 0, 0. It's when x is equal to 0, y is also equal to 0. So that is the origin. And if a graph has a multiplicative nature, then it is going to pass through the origin. If it's not multiplicative, if it's additive instead, then it is not necessarily going to pass through the origin, or it's not going to pass through the origin. And the reason why is this. Y is equal to x plus 3. That's an example of an additive equation. Y is equal to x times 3, or times 2 or 2x, or however you want to say it. If you look at the difference between there, when x is equal to 0 in this one, 0 times 3 is going to equal 0. So when x is 0, y is going to be equal to 0. In this one here, when x is equal to 0, you have 0 plus 3. So y is going to end up equal to 3. So that's the difference. Basically, if you see the graph not go through the origin, then it's additive in nature, at least at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to erase a couple things, and we're going to write that more clearly for what it wants us to say. All right. So it says, it wants us to put it here. Is this graph additive or multiplicative in nature? And so my answer becomes that this graph is additive in nature. And I said if this graph was multiplicative, then when x equals 0, y would equal 0. It would pass through the origin. But that's not what we see. Instead, we see it doesn't pass through 0, 0 like we would expect. Instead, when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 30, as we can see on the graph. That tells me that the equation is additive. It's an additive equation where y is equal to x plus 30. And so that is the reasoning for, is this graph additive or multiplicative in nature? Why? That's the answer. It's additive in nature because when x is equal to 0, y is not equal to 0. All right. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a great time. Oh no, it's the purple pig of death. Oh, purple pig of death, how we hate thee. Oh, but the purple pig of death loves kittens. Oh, purple pig of death, how we love that you love kittens. All right, on to the next question.